Hi everyone, I'm Jane. Have you ever asked yourself, can I do this? What was your answer? When you ask yourself this question, you're estimating your self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is defined as one's judgment of how well or poorly one will cope with a situation given the skills one possesses and the circumstances one faces. In a more common tongue, that means self-efficacy is how sure a person is that they can do something. For example, let's say you're an average person with an average job living an average life. Maybe you're in your early 20s, still living with your parents and working at your dad's restaurant. You're okay living this life, and of course you've always dreamed of having and doing more, but the life you live is perfectly fine. That is, until one day, the worst villain the world has ever seen escapes from his cell. Well, you'll just let the professionals deal with it, right? They're trained for this stuff anyway. Wrong. The world's most well-known military trainer shows up and tells you that you've been chosen to be the one that gets the villain back in his cell. You think it's a joke and laugh. The trainer doesn't join in on your laughter. When you arrive at his training facility, you meet the world's most elite task force, all trained by the original master. I mean, these guys are some kung fu ninja warriors. You start to train and prepare yourself for the fight that's coming. But you start to notice the members of the task force are all faster than you, stronger than you, better than you. You lose faith and start to walk out. The master stops you and asks what's wrong. You say, why me, the untrained average guy that was fine with his life a few days ago? Why not the other guys, the ones that have been training for something like this their whole life and are already prepared for such a fight? The master listens to your rant patiently and then asks simply, why not you? A million thoughts flow through your mind. I'm out of shape. I've never completed a task greater than delivering food to a table. The trainer stops you and asks, what makes you incapable of doing this? Can't you run, kick, punch? The answer to all these is yes. Then what's the problem? You realize the answer. It's you. Welcome to your self-efficacy. Right now, it's pretty darn low. The next day, you walk in the training room with a new outlook. Today, you begin the training you need to increase your self-efficacy. There are 4 ways to gain self-efficacy. First is personal behavior history, or experiences of a relatively similar situation you've had in the past. Obviously, you've never fought a villain before, but there are smaller tasks that can be related to ones you've completed. Remember climbing onto the counter and reaching the top of the cabinet for those cookies? How about climbing a mountain for the cookies instead? The next source of self-efficacy is vicarious experience, or watching someone else perform the task. That task force that's faster than you and stronger than you, now you're watching and learning their steps to hopefully become just as good or better than they are. The third source is verbal persuasion. This is where the trainer and task force provide their encouragement and cheer you on as you try to complete a task. Finally, the fourth source is your physiological state. At the start of your training, you were weak, nervous, and tired after a small amount of work. Now, after persistence and effort, your body is in shape and prepared for the fight. The fight finally comes, and even though it was a tough one, you managed to beat the world's worst villain. You did it! You actually accomplished something that you never thought you could do, not even in your dreams. How high is your self-efficacy right now? Do you feel like you can do anything? Good. Try to keep it that way. In real life, researchers examined 97 boys at a summer camp that were between 10 and 13 years old. The boys answered a survey about their physical and social self-efficacies, and these were the results. Like I said in my hypothetical example, there are 4 ways of boosting a person's self-efficacy. If a person ever needs some motivational help, try and see if these 4 sources of self-efficacy can help them to boost their motivation. Here are my references. I hope you enjoyed my video, and thanks for watching.
Free. created using Powtoon.